so we'll just come to a comfortable position on either a blanket or a bolster. Just rotating forward and back until you sit right over the sits bones. Lengthen your spine, draw your shoulder blades down the back. Relaxing your arms and hands. Starting to relax the facial muscles. Taking in a few deep rounds of breath here. As you breathe in, imagine filling up your lungs with breath. As you exhale, emptying them all out. As you inhale, bringing fresh breath to baby. Exhale, hugging baby in. Imagine letting the belly soften and expand with each inhalation and drawing belly in closer on each exhalation. We'll practice an equal breath. So on your inhale, see if you can come to the count of 4. And as you exhale, repeating that count. So in your mind, inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Just a couple of these rounds of breath, just feeling the hips soften, feeling the belly relax. And we'll start to practice our Ujjayi breath. So your next exhale, create a light constriction at the back of your throat, the same you use when you fog a mirror. Breathing in, recreate that same light constriction at the back of your throat. Continue this controlled breathing with the lips closed, moving in and out of the nose if you can. And coming back to the count of that breath. This breath starts to calm down the parasympathetic nervous system, relaxes the heart rate. Continue this breath throughout the whole practice today. Option to keep the eyes open or closed as you reach your arms out to the sides, up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, flip the palms down, sweep the arms to the sides of the body. Take an inhale as you reach your arms out and up. Exhale, release your hands down. One more inhale, reach your arms out and up. This time, keep your arms up. Interlace your hands and flip your palms up to the ceiling. Creating some length through the sides of the body. Maybe even taking the rib cage away from belly for just a moment. Creating a little more space for baby. Take one more full breath in. So exhale, bend the elbows and bring the backs of the hands to the back of your neck. And we'll just take another deep breath in here as you open the elbows out wide. As you exhale, close them in and see if you can create a C curve with your spine. Take an inhale, open the arms out, starting to lift the chest slightly. Exhale, hug everything in, elbows draw close to each other. Inhale, open the elbows out, chest open. Exhale, hugging everything in. As we inhale, keep the elbows out. Place your left hand down to the ground next to you, bending the left elbow. And the right hand can stay behind the head if that feels good, and start to laterally stretch over towards the left. If that feels good, you can draw the right shoulder back just a little bit more so the back of the right elbow will just go towards the back of the room. You'll just start to feel a little bit of a twist in the torso here. Little rotation. Take an inhale, come all the way back up. Left hand behind the head. Gently release your right hand down, bend your right elbow. Laterally stretch over towards the right. Again, using that elbow and the back of the shoulder to rotate the torso forward a little bit more. Take an inhale, come all the way up. Interlace your hands behind your back. If you have a strap, you can use that behind your back. If you don't and you feel this more in the elbow joints versus the chest, then just give your elbows a little bend. And then work the shoulder blades towards the middle of the spine. And just start to feel that heart space opening up. Just alleviating some of that pressure we may have when the shoulders round during the day. I will take another full breath here. As you inhale, open your arms out wide. Exhale, give yourself a big hug, right arm over left. Hands can come to the backs of the shoulders, or if you have eagle arms, you can bring the palms together to touch. And just bring the chin in slightly, taking any of the pressure off of the back of the neck and shoulders. And take an inhale, open out the arms. Exhale, cross left arm over right, either hands to the backs of the shoulders or eagle arms with the palms to touch, chin in towards the chest. And take an inhale, open your arms out. Exhale, release your hands to the left. We'll take a few seated cat-cow so we can really concentrate on that upper back stretch here. As you inhale, come forward with the heart. Draw the shoulder blades back towards the spine. Exhale, cat. Draw the chin in towards the chest. See if you can round the spine here. Inhale, come forward, stretching through the collarbones. Exhale, chin to chest, round your spine. Inhale, forward, lifting the chin forward, slightly up. Exhale, hugging everything in. Then we'll inhale, come all the way back up. Inhale, reach your arms out and up to the sky. And we'll take a moving spinal twist. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, twisting, bringing right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Inhale, draw both arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist to the right, left hand to right knee. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach up. And exhale to the right. Inhale, reach both arms back up. And exhale, release all the way down. We're going to move into our tabletop position. So if you have a blanket that you'd like to cushion underneath your knees, if you don't have a blanket and you need that cushion, you can always fold over the middle of your mat and just have your knees right on there. Placing your shoulders right over your wrists, tuck your back toes. We're going to create a really long, stable spine here. So imagine hugging baby in so that the lumbar spine is flat. We're not having that big lumbar curve. Reaching the crown of the head forward, tailbone back. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, cat pose, draw the chin in, rounding through the spine. Inhale, soften the belly down, keeping the lumbar spine supported. Exhale, curl and round your spine. Inhale. And exhale, curl and round. I'm going to take a moment in child's pose. Bring your toes together to touch. Walk the knees out wide. And if you have space for belly, come all the way back down onto the heels. If you need a little more space, you can always place a block underneath the forehead and maybe even roll the blanket for under behind the kneecaps. Taking a couple deep breaths here, feeling a nice stretch in the spine. Just taking deep breaths to baby, feeling that expansion on each inhale. So we know we can come to this pose anytime during our yoga practice today to reconnect to the breath and slow down the rate of the heart. One more full breath here. Your next inhale, come back to tabletop position, hands and knees. We're going to take a few leg strengthening exercises here. So we're going to take a lateral leg lift with the knee bent. So we're going to go ahead and lift the left leg off of the mat, squeezing the gluteus medius and thigh. And then exhale, see if you can still squeeze that inner thigh as you draw the knee back down. So we're using the adductor muscles, or abductor muscles when we're lifting a leg, and adductor muscles as we're lowering it down. So do that a few times on your own pace. We're starting to strengthen the muscles surrounding the pelvis. The pelvis becomes a little more unstable during pregnancy, making space for baby, but we want to make sure that the muscles surrounding stay nice and strong. One more time on the left side, and then gently release the left knee down. We'll go over to the right side, so lateral leg lift with the knee bent. And again, just going at your own pace here, making sure to engage the muscles as you lift the leg and as you lower. Couple more times here, really concentrating on squeezing each way. And we'll come all the way back to tabletop position, hands and knees. Move into our child's pose once again. Big toes touch. Space between the knees for baby as you lower all the way down. Take a couple of breaths here. One more full breath. On your next inhale, come back to tabletop position, hands and knees. This time we're going to take our legs out behind us. If you're having any compromised wrist, you can come down to the forearms for this next one. We'll look straight down at the mat, making sure shoulders are over the wrists. And we're going to extend the left leg out, coming up onto the left toes. And we're going to lift the leg back behind. So some leg extensions here. So lifting the toes off of the ground, squeezing the glute and hamstring. And then lowering all the way back down. Again, going at your own pace. And this time, hugging baby in, making sure that that low spine stays flat. Couple of times here. One more time. And then gently bend the left knee, come back to tabletop position. We'll switch over to the right, so coming up onto the right toes. Squeezing the glute and hamstring, lift the toes off of the ground, gently lowering them down. Again, nice and controlled each way, lifting and lowering. One more time, lift and lower, come back to tabletop. We'll take a couple of hip circles. So however that feels good, come forward, inhale. As you exhale, come back. If that feels better to do some figure eights, just listen to your body here, what feels good to move the hips. Whatever direction feels good. Remembering to come back to your breath. Good, and we'll slowly come back to neutral. We'll move into downward facing dog. If you are feeling any blood pressure issues or dizziness, just continue a few cat-cows here. Otherwise, tuck your toes, lift your knees off of the mat, keep your knees bent, take a wide stance, and just bring the feet in a little bit closer here. Knees bent, start to lift the tailbone up to the sky. Starting to feel an equal distribution between the palms and the heels. We're in an inverted V position here, lengthening the sides of the body, lengthening the spine. That feels good. You can pedal out your feet a couple times. Maybe nod the head. And we'll take an inhale, look at the top of your mat. Keep your knees bent and several steps to come to the top of your mat. Keeping the knees bent. We'll use the strength in our legs and our back to inhale, reach the arms in front of you and come all the way up to stand. Exhale, releasing the hands down. We'll take a few swaying motions here to give a little bit more fluidity to the body. So we'll sway side to side. We'll take the left hand over towards the right side of the body, coming up onto the left toes. And then we'll do the same on the right. So bringing the right hand over towards the left, coming up onto the right toes. So just move back and forth as that feels good at your own pace here. So maybe you're moving a little slower, a little quicker. Just breathing here. All right, and we'll slow it down. And we'll come all the way back to the top of the mat, moving into our modified sun salutes. So if you have blocks and you need them for your sun salutes, go ahead and bring them to the top of the mat. Take a wide stance with your feet, inner arches of the feet face each other, toes straight ahead. Bring your hands to your heart center as you lift up tall with the spine, crown of the head, and shoulder blades draw back down the spine. Inhale, reach your arms in front of you up to the sky. With an exhale, bend your knees, strong back. Reach your fingertips to either the ground or if you have your blocks here. Step your right foot to the back of the mat for a low lunge. Touch the right knee down, keep the right toes tucked. Left knee stays right over the ankle. Find a little space in the spine as you inhale. As you exhale, move into tabletop position, wide knees. Transition into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, lift the tail. Inhale, slowly lower down to your knees. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, cat, hug baby in, round the spine. Inhale, find that length in the spine. Exhale, return to downward facing dog, drawing the lower rib cage in. Inhale, gently lower down to your knees. Step your left foot out wide past the pinky finger. Use your blocks if needed here for your palms. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold, wide stance. Strong legs and back, reach your arms forward and up, inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center. I'm going to take that on the left side. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Use your blocks if needed for your hands as you step your left foot back. Tuck in your left toes. Inhale. Exhale, moving to tabletop, transitioning into downward facing dog. Inhale, lower down gently to your knees. Exhale, curl and round your spine. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gently lower down to knees. Step your right foot out wide. Use your blocks if needed for your palms. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot out wide. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach your arms in front of you up to the sky. Exhale, turn your hands to your heart. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. Step your right foot back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, knees to downward facing dog. Inhale, gently lower to knees. Exhale, curl and round your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, gently lower down to knees. Step left leg out wide. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, your hands back to your heart. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Left foot steps back. Inhale. Exhale, knees, downward facing dog. Inhale, gently lower to knees. Exhale, curl and round your spine. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, gently lower to knees. Step your right leg out wide. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, your hands back to your heart. One more time each side. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Right leg steps back. Inhale. Exhale, knees, downward facing dog. Inhale, gently lower to knees. Exhale, curl and round your spine. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, gently lower to knees. Step your left foot out wide. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach forward and up, strong legs and back. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left leg back. Inhale. Exhale, knees, down dog. Inhale, lower to knees. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lower down to your knees. Step your right leg out wide. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, your hands back to your heart. Release your hands to the sides of your body. If you can, heel toe your feet together to touch. Toes together, slight space between the heels. Take a wider stance if needed with your feet. Lift up tall for the crown of the head, shoulders away from the ears. Just take a soft gaze at the ground, shifting your weight forward into the fronts of the toes, back into your heels, finding the center of your feet. Shift slightly to the left edge of your foot. the right. Returning back to center. Moving up, engage your legs, glutes, hug baby in. Engage your chest and back muscles as you reach your fingertips to the ground. Finding this balance as our body is active and engaged, we can keep the mind calm, keep the breath long. Taking one more full breath here. On your exhale, if you had your eyes closed, open your eyes. Release mountain pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Just take a couple of wide circles with the hips. Any direction to start. Just inhaling, hips forward. Exhaling back. Going the opposite direction. And any time during your practice you need to take a water break or you need to take a moment to swirl the hips, just listen into your body, how you feel today. So we'll gently come back to stillness, taking that water break if needed. And then when we come back to our yoga mat, have your blocks. We'll go ahead and step into a goddess squat pose. So having the blocks in front of you that would be right in between the feet, we'll have the heels in, toes out. And just coming to a comfortable stance here. So if the hips are causing you a little discomfort, just take a shorter stance with the heels and then we'll take a shorter squat. If you feel pretty good today, you can take a little bit wider of a stance here. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. As you exhale, bend your knees and bring your hands to heart center. Nice and strong legs. As you inhale, reach up, straighten the legs. Exhale, coming into your goddess squat. Inhale, reach, arms out and up. Exhale, we'll pause here for a moment, keeping the spine lifted. Your exhale, we're going to bring our hands to the tops of our thighs. So the fingertips just hold on to the inner thighs. And we'll take a couple of shoulder presses here. Start by drawing the right shoulder blade in towards the middle of the body. And we'll move over towards the left. So going back and forth as that feels good. Keeping that squat. You can straighten your legs if it's becoming a little much. One more time each way. Good. On your last one, come back to neutral. Straighten your legs and inhale to come all the way up. Prasarita Padottanasana, bring the toes forward. Inner arches of the feet face each other. Take an inhale, hug baby in. As you exhale, fold forward, use your hands for your blocks here. So if you have that dizziness or any blood pressure issue, maybe even some nausea, keep halfway lifted so you can come up onto the tall side of your blocks here. If you want to go a little deeper, you're welcome to move the blocks down. Keeping those outer thighs engaged. So you imagine bringing the heels separated from each other, but just keeping them there. So we're actively pressing the heels away from each other while keeping them on the ground. Keep the spine long. Gaze is down so that the neck is in line with the spine. We're going to take a couple of moving side leg lunges. So with the hands on the blocks, you're just going to bend your right knee, straighten left leg. And then moving over to bend the left knee, straightening the right. So again, moving with the flow of how that feels good with your breath. Keeping that neck neutral. couple of breaths here. We're stretching the inner thighs, muscles that we strengthened at the beginning of class. Okay, we'll take one more each way. Coming back to neutral, slight bend in your knees, hands to your hips, and inhale, come all the way out. Coming into warrior two, pivot your right toes out, bend your right knee, and take any stance needed with the left foot. So if you need a little less space, a little more space, establish that here, making sure that the right knee is right over the ankle. And if you need to move the knee more towards the pinky edge of the foot, lift your heels, strongly engage the outer thigh, and place it gently down. Reach your arms out to the sides of the body, drawing the shoulder blades towards the spine, finding that nice gaze beyond the right fingertips, connecting back to baby, coming back to your breath. We'll take a few moving warriors here. So on your inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Inhale, straighten your leg. As you're exhaling, making sure to keep that alignment. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Your next inhale, straighten your right leg. Heel toe the left foot in slightly, coming into triangle pose. Left toes in. Bringing your left hand to your hip, reach with your right arm. As you exhale, right hand can come to your thigh, shin, or even if you need your block here on the inside of your right foot. Keeping that left hand on the front of the left hip bone, making sure that it opens up towards the side of the body, staying in line with your shoulder versus down towards the mat. So use a rotation of the core muscles, strength of the upper back. And you can keep your left hand on your hip, or if that feels good, you can take the left arm overhead. Find your gaze where it's most comfortable for the neck. Pressing into both heels, making sure both legs are straight, but knees are soft. Couple of deep breaths here. And one more full breath. Bring your left hand to your hip, maybe bending the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Moving your block back to the middle. We'll take our goddess squat again. So bringing the heels in, toes out. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to your heart center. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach arms out and up. Exhale, coming into your squat, tucking the tail slightly. Inhale, arms out and up. Your last exhale here, we'll pause, keeping the spine lifted, shoulders away from the ears. Nice, strong legs. Inhale, reach your arms out and up, straighten the legs. Exhale, hands back to your hips. Parallel your feet once again for wide leg forward fold. Inhale, lengthen up your spine. Exhale, fold forward. If that feels good, you can come into a twist. Right hand on your block. Left hand can spin up to the sky. And then just following your gaze. If it's too much to look up at your left hand, just find a neutral gaze. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release your left hand down to your block, right hand to your hip. If that feels good, spin the right fingertips up to the sky. Otherwise, you can bring both hands to the block. One more inhale. Exhale, release both hands down to your blocks. Bend your knees, hands to your hips. Inhale with a strong back, come all the way up. Pivot your left toes for warrior two, bend into your left knee. Make any adjustments needed with your right leg. Take a look at your alignment. You can still see your left toes. That knee is working towards the left pinky, strongly engaging these outer thigh muscles. Reach your arms out to the side, strong arms, shoulder blades draw towards each other. Make sure we have nice, strong upper bodies. And we're holding baby. This nice strength in the upper body. We'll take an inhale to straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend the left knee, keeping that alignment. Inhale, straighten left leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Moving into triangle pose, you can place your hands to your hips if needed, and heel toe the right toe in a little closer. Right toes in, keep the hips level, reach your left arm out, and exhale into triangle, left hand either to the thigh, shin, or if you need the block for the inside of the left foot. Keeping that right hand on the hip bone to see, making sure that that hip bone is level here with the shoulder. Right hand can stay to your hip or reach the right arm up to the sky. That rotation of the torso, drawing that right shoulder towards the middle of the spine. Again, finding that gaze where it's most comfortable. One more full breath here. Now bring your right hand to your hip, bend your knees, and inhale, slowly come all the way back up. Pivot your left toe in, and we'll heel toe the feet just about hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Using your block, we're going to measure right between the thighs here. We're going to use that block as a way to squeeze and remind ourselves to squeeze the inner thigh muscles here. So with the legs straight, lift the arms up, take a deep breath in. Exhale into chair, so bringing the hands to heart center, sit back in your seat, squeezing that block. Inhale as you reach your arms forward and up. Exhale, coming back into that chair. Inhale, forward and up. On this exhale, we're going to hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. And exhale, just release. Take that block to the top of your mat and just move your hips how that feels good to release. And we're going to take a standing balancing pose of tree. So if you need to come to a wall or if you have a chair at home, we'll go ahead and move to find that balance. We're going to start off on the right foot. So we'll place all of the weight into the right foot, squeezing the thigh muscles. So we're squeezing the glutes, the outer thigh, and taking your left foot, you can just place that here on the inner arch of the ankle. If you'd like to move it up to the calf, or maybe even to the inner thigh, but just finding your balance here where you feel most stable and comfortable. Hands can come at your heart center. And if that feels good to reach your fingertips up to the sky, you're welcome to do that. And just take this nice broad stretch, maybe even opening the arms out a little wider. We're strengthening the right leg. Finding those stabilizers in the feet. We'll take one more deep breath in. And exhale, hands to your heart. Gently release your left foot down. And if that feels good to roll around the standing ankle, you just come up onto the toes, roll around the ankle. Good. The other side. I'll take that onto the left foot. So placing your left foot down, placing all the weight. Notice if you roll to the outside arch of, or outside edge or inside arch of the foot, and just stand there for a moment, just being aware of that. Pressing down equally into the whole foot, and then taking the right foot to either the ankle, calf, or inner thigh. If you find you're rolling to one edge versus the other, maybe we work on just keeping that right foot placed here and finding that nice strength to press evenly through the foot. Bringing hands to your heart. If that feels good, you can reach the arms overhead again, creating that nice space in the upper body. Just feel open here. Finding that drishti or that focal point on the ground. Seeing if you can come back to counting the breath here. So anything that's a little bit more challenging, knowing we can come back to that concentration of the breath. One more deep breath here. And as you exhale, hands come to your heart. Release your right foot down. And again, take circles however that feels good, even if you want to lift the knee and move the ankle around. However that feels good to release anything that feels a little stagnant. And we're going to move into Malasana, squat pose. So if you are 34 weeks or beyond, it's good to have a couple of blocks to prop yourself underneath. And if you practice Malasana and the heels come off of the ground, take a blanket or even the top edge of your mat and roll that for underneath the heels. Place your blocks where your sacrum will be. We'll just take a moment to get set up here. Placing the heels, again, if the heels normally come off of the mat, we'll just go ahead and use that as a guidance here. We'll have a slightly shorter stance than we did with our goddess squat. And slowly bending the knees, lower all the way down. So again, using those blocks here. If you feel a lot of downward pressure, we'll make sure we support here. And if you can, bring your elbows to the inner thighs. Maybe even helping to open the inner thighs a little bit more. Lifting the spine tall. And on your inhale, imagine softening the belly, softening down. As you exhale, hug the baby in. So imagine the sides of the ribcage drawing baby in. Inhale, soften everything down. Imagine your jaw softening, the throat softening. As you exhale, hug baby in. One more time, inhale, softening. And exhaling, hugging in. All right, we'll gently move into a tabletop position from here. So just as slow and gentle as needed, walking the hands out, coming to hands and knees. And again, just those hip circles or maybe even side to side, whatever feels good. Slowly come back into neutral. We're going to come into the Janu Shirshasana. So have your blocks to the side. Have a seat on your blanket here. So just keeping the hips up a little bit higher. Bending the left knee, right leg extends. Flexing the toes in, squeezing that quadricep. And we're actually going to take a little twist from here. So the right hand to the left knee, and then just taking the left hand behind. So lifting up nice and tall, making a lot of space here for baby. And just looking slightly to the left. Feel really left shoulder blade back. Again, if you find that you round during the day, that feels really good to open that out. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly come back. This time we're going to have the right forearm onto the right thigh. Lift the left arm up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, reaching the left arm over towards the right. So you can even place hand on baby for a moment here. If that feels a little better, to bring the right hand to the inside of the right leg and using that a little bit as leverage to maybe get a little deeper into the stretch. Again, find the gaze where it's most comfortable. This should feel ease. Feel a little bit more space as you breathe. As you inhale, come all the way up. We'll switch sides. Bend your right knee, extend your left leg out. We'll come into a twist, an open twist. Right hand behind you, left hand to your right knee. Inhale, lengthening up the spine. Exhaling over towards the right. And drawing those shoulder blades back. One more deep breath in. Exhale, unwind. Bringing the left forearm to the left thigh. Right arm up and over the ear. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, lateral stretch over towards the left. Again, you can either place left hand to baby, or if you like, you can take your left hand to the mat, taking a little bit deeper of a stretch. Listening to the body, even one side may be different than the other. How does that feel on this side of the body? Just relaxing down the jaw, the throat. Take another deep breath here. Inhale, come all the way up. Take a wide leg forward fold, so both legs come out. If you need to, have your blocks or even your bolster in front of you. Hands can come to the mat or the blocks, whatever you have to prop yourself. Flex your toes, squeeze the quadricep muscles, and inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, just a slight hinge forward. So again, you want to honor the space that you have here. You want to make sure that the shoulders are away from the ears. You're relaxing the back of the neck and jaw. Just going as far forward as feels safe and comfortable. One more full breath here, lengthening the sides of the bodies just a little bit more. And on your next inhale, walking the fingertips back in. We're going to come into a seated figure four pose. It's just having the blocks off to the side for a moment here. Bend your knees, bringing the inner thighs in closer towards one another. You're going to bend your right knee and bring your right foot to the top of the left thigh. Hands walk behind you so that your fingertips are facing the sits bones. So on your inhale, just imagine lifting the heart space up, drawing the shoulder blades back towards the spine, and just feeling that nice external rotation in the right hip. Dorsiflex the toes towards the shin. You can even close your eyes if that feels okay. Maybe if you're a little dizzy, keep them open. Take another deep breath here. Gently lower your right foot down. Keep the feet out wide and we'll windshield wiper the knees from side to side. So just releasing those hips. Go at your own pace here, however that feels good. We'll gently come back into stillness. We'll take our figure four on the opposite side. Plant your right foot down. If you need to come back up and help your left ankle, and then gently place the hands back behind you. Fingertips reach towards the sits bones. Draw the scapula back towards the spine. Flexing the left toes towards the shin. And then again, if that feels okay, to look up. If not, just keep the chin tucked in, just depending on how you feel today. Again, that expansiveness through the heart center. We may not even notice throughout the day that we start to contract the chest, drawing the shoulder blades forward. So this may be a little tight to open up this part of the body. So important to have that balance. One more inhale. As you exhale, gently lower the left foot down, and we'll just bring the feet over to the right side of the body. We're going to get set up for our side lying Savasana, so you can take a recline bound ankle if you like. But again, if you're in your third trimester, baby's a little bit more heavy on the body, you can go ahead and come into side lying Savasana, having a blanket underneath the hips, a blanket for underneath the head and neck, and maybe you have a block for your hands here, the bolster for in between the knees. So just coming all the way down, making sure the neck is supported, having the hips supported here so they're level. And then you can bring that left arm straight out and either have the right hand on the block here, or maybe even just extend out, however that feels good in your body. And this position is really good to practice now, pre-labor, because during labor you can always choose this posture to relax in between contractions. So we'll start off by coming back to that equal breath first. So coming in to count to the count of 4. And exhaling out to 4. And in your mind, continuing that breath cycle, and just start to visualize the space between your eyebrows and relax that space. Start to relax down your jaw, keeping the throat soft, the chest, relaxing your arms, and just wiggling the fingers and then relaxing them back down. Keeping your belly soft. Just imagine baby rocking back and forth with your breath. Keeping your hips soft. Relax your legs. Even imagine relaxing your toes. Keeping your whole body calm and relaxed. So you breathe deeply. to your body. Taking a little deeper of a breath. Moving the fingers and toes. Giving yourself a lot of love and gratitude for coming to your practice today. Giving yourself that time and space. Sending a loving message to baby. And slowly, when you're ready, inhaling to come back to a seated position. Taking just another moment with the hands at the heart. Taking another full deep breath in. Full deep breath out. Thank you for coming to practice today. Have a wonderful rest.